Hello, welcome to Self Love Sunday, my dear sister. Whether it's your first time or you are coming back, I am deeply, deeply grateful that you have come here, even for just a brief moment. The Agatha that is speaking to you today is just a little bit different. There has been a moment of integration in my life recently, and today I want to share that with you in this episode. We are going to be talking about my boring good life era, something that I have been experiencing recently after coming so far in the journey of starting in trauma bonds, unhealthy patterns, lack of self-awareness, but always in the back of my head having that there has to be something better out there for me. There has to be that different version of me that I'm going to meet one day. And I'm definitely getting closer. This channel is not a replacement for therapy as such, but I think it will give you a lot. There will be love, there will be truth, there will be guidance based on my real experience, coming from trauma bonds, lack of self-awareness, fear, hypervigilance, into this place where I am right now. So thank you again for being here, and let's dive into the episode. So, as I said, something strange has been happening within my life recently, and it's been uncomparable to anything that I felt before. If I thought I knew what peace was, I didn't really know what it was. If I thought I knew what rest was, I didn't really know what rest was. If I thought I knew what regulation and self-discipline coming from love was, I didn't really know what it was. There was no chaos anymore. There is no chaos anymore. There is nothing dramatic. There is nothing like an emotional roller coaster in my life anymore. There's no hypervigilance. I finally not just understood logically, but felt it and embodied it within my whole self, what peace actually feels like. And I call it my good, boring era. And let's acknowledge that modern self-improvement culture does not necessarily encourage the boring, right? We are taught to constantly self-improve, constantly chase more self-awareness, constantly chase more, right? And once you go through a lot of work, you come to a point where you actually have to integrate what you've been learning, right? Because the end goal is a happy life, I'd imagine, right? You would want to be happy, peaceful, and perhaps spend a lot of time with your family, or most of your time with the family, and live a healthy life. So when you arrive in that space, how do you do that? How do you act when you're actually given a chance to live a boring, good life? My previous state was nervous system in survival, and I didn't even know the extent of it. There was hypervigilance and scanning for people's moods, so I feel safe. This has served me. over the years. This has served me. And this, by the way, this is here, this moment. I'm not here to judge any stage of life because it's all required to get to more peace within our hearts. But it does feel odd when the hypervigilance is no longer needed and you have to face it. You no longer constantly have to analyze yourself. You don't need external soothing like validation or alcohol or distractions like scrolling. And you no longer think that healing had to feel intense. Like, this has happened to me. Like, I had a lot of breakthroughs, crying, realizations. But no one really talks about what happens after you have the breakthroughs, the crying, the big realizations. You come to a point where you actually have to integrate all of that you learned. And you have to feel it within your whole self and within your whole body. And that gets weird and scary sometimes because it's so unknown. Peace is so unknown. And let me share with you a moment of a beautiful, beautiful realization recently. I was visiting my family and I went to the bathroom. And just for context, bathroom is usually where you're alone, right? For some of us, this is the only alone time we get if we've got families or friends living with us. And that bathroom time was my alone time. So time to exhale, time to look at myself in the mirror, right? And there was my moment of alone, standing in the bathroom, trying to exhale the day and realizing there's nothing to exhale. There's nothing to regulate. I realized I regulated myself throughout the day as I went. I didn't self-abandon. Wow. Right? And that particular day, it's been actually my experience over the weeks already, but I didn't quite put it together until that moment that I was having. For example, one of the things that I had was overeating. And I would subconsciously beat myself up about that because I don't have the self-discipline. Why do I do that? And it was emotional overeating. So once I processed all of the guilt and shame behind it, and I realized and understood where did that come from, the pull to soothe through the external is freaking gone. So that night, I had pizza and I didn't feel guilty about it, not one bit. I was offered alcohol. I had opportunity to get alcohol. I went with the 0% version because I didn't need to be soothed. I had the opportunity to be with my beautiful newborn niece. And I was soothing her calmly. And I realized also that she's not here for me to soothe myself. She's not here to meet my needs or fulfill my expectations. I'm an adult, and I finally feel like an adult. I am there for her. So even if I didn't have instant heart feelings or oh my God, there is this beautiful life in front of me. I wasn't like, oh my God, you should feel something. No, I was just like, okay, I'll let them come when they come. And I won't try, like, whenever I started to feel guilty about being around her and not being the perfect aunt, perfect meaning just like, like feeling everything and like, like staring into her eyes and not having some sort of ecstatic sensations, I realized this is all about me trying to get something from her. And she can't give me validation. She's tiny. And it's not her job. So it was freaking wonderful to regulate in real time and say, no, I'm here for her. And another aspect of my life was showing up confidently at work. Everything started to shift because I started realizing my worthiness is not attached to what I do externally, what I do for others, what I do at work, what I do for my family. My value is here within me. So separation of self from the emotions, from the feeling of unworthiness, that feeling of unworthiness is not me. That feeling of unworthiness is not you. That feeling of disappointment is not you. Of fear is not you. You just experience emotions. Yeah. So everything stops shifting once you're shifting internally. And I'm talking about how you show up and how you stop needing the external validation. And there is no resentment in the back of your head that you have to be so independent that you cannot rely on anyone. Because the truth is, you can rely on people, but you no longer need it. And you don't feel resentful about it. This is just going a little bit deeper on that other layer. Because that used to be me. I used to be angry that I have to be so, that I, like, subconsciously I was worried that I cannot trust anyone. But I was really worried that I cannot trust myself. Yeah. The calm started to become my default state. With practice, it becomes easier and easier to return to yourself. And when people live in survival mode for such a long time, God bless me, God bless any person on the planet that has to go through survival for a long time. The grief of that is immense and real. And I hope you are being kind to yourself and processing it. If this is you right now, if you're processing the grief of living in survival and sacrificing yourself and your well-being for others, give yourself grace. Cry out. Yeah. Calm feels unfamiliar at first because we've never really experienced calm. Not the real calm, not the embodied calm. Oh my God, it is worth waiting for that. It is worth it. Do it in your own pace. Don't chase, don't try and compare yourself to anyone. We really are here on individual journeys, even if we are all one at heart. Our experiences are unique. Yeah. So take your time to get to that calm and don't be mad at yourself if you're not getting there just yet. because it is so unfamiliar. Practice staying with yourself longer and longer, just without any distraction. Let the grief out and love yourself as if you were the most beautiful mother to yourself, or father, if you're a man listening. When you live in survival mode, peace can feel like emptiness, like there isn't enough happening. Your nervous system just expects drama, it's that hypervigilance. You're just scanning for danger. And also no wonder, because we are being fed fear every single day. But don't swallow it. F the fear. I know that it's difficult. So whenever you have that fear, say to yourself, I'm feeling fear right now, and I'm really, really scared. And it's okay. No wonder. Not everything is to be blamed on you, my love. There are certain constructs, there are certain people that want you scared and fearful and are far away from your heart, far away from calm, far away from regulated. So be kind to yourself. Shifting to self-love is a process. And the most important thing that you are in that time is loving towards yourself. Unconditionally loving. Even if you have intrusive thoughts, even if you're feeling shame about your thoughts, those are just thoughts. Separate them from you. This is not you. Okay? Just start seeing it that way. Separate yourself and observe. Okay, that thought, okay, it's here, but thank you, but I'm good, thank you. No, but no, thank you. Yeah. Self-love is so complex, and you can achieve it in so many different ways. But I think the universal truth is unconditional love for yourself. It can be through starting with affirmations, observing the thoughts instead of judging yourself. And eventually self-love becomes quiet, becomes a regulated nervous system, it becomes a confidence, even if you don't shout it out loud from the rooftops. It also may mean no guilt around food or drink. Because let's face it, if we stop shaming ourselves for our coping mechanisms, you come out on the other side of it, which is knowing what they really are and what purpose they're truly served in your life. And it was your wonderful body being so intelligent that they found the way of soothing you through the external. So don't shame yourself if you are unable to quit overeating or drinking alcohol or anything that you're using right now to self-soothe, or is it distractions or shopping? Just be kind to yourself about that. Just see it for what it truly is. Ask yourself that question. Where did that come from? Why do I need this? With curiosity, not judgment. Be curious about that. Go deeper. Self-love is not needing to perform peace either. You don't need to perform it, you become it. And it's possible. But first, you have to allow yourself to experience and release whatever you were holding back over the years. Yeah. Self-love isn't about how loudly you love yourself. Self-love is about how safe you feel inside of your own life. So, have you ever experienced a moment where you suddenly became calm, but instead of being excited about that, you were bewildered or confused? Like, this feels weird, this feels not natural. I definitely have been there. But maybe peace doesn't arrive loudly like fireworks, but maybe it looks like a quiet Tuesday evening when nothing needs fixing. Nothing needs to be tended to. You're just there with yourself. And you have nowhere to go, nothing to do. And you don't feel guilty about this moment of rest. And this is it for the episode. I hope this resonated with you. I hope this finds the right person. And if you feel like this could help someone else, to share this with them. And I'm sending you my love from that newfound state of Agata. I'm here for you. Now, from this space of regulation, I'm here for you. I can show up differently for you. I thank you if you stayed all the way until now. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed week. I love you. I'm proud of you. You are doing good. No matter where you think you are right now, you're doing good. Stay curious and kind to yourself. I hope to see you next week. We will be talking about how often kindness is being mistaken for lack of intelligence, especially in women. So, hope to see you next week. Take good care of your heart.